followers, and welcome back to the question where you have the questions and I have the answers. And I know I haven't made a video in a long time. There's so much crazy stuff happening that I should probably make a video. So I'm going to make a video, but not about the stuff you think. Today is Juneteenth, and if you don't know what that is, well, you're kind of a loser. Juneteenth is also called known as Freedom Day. Is the day, it celebrates the day that slavery was actually ended, because, you know, the Emancipation Proclamation happened, but slavery actually didn't stop being a thing in the U.S. I mean, it's still low-key a thing, but we'll get to that later. Like, officially a thing in the U.S. until 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation, because, unlike today, news doesn't spread that fast in the 1800s. So while for most of the northern states, like the main, few states, slavery had stopped, a lot of the western states, like Texas, did not know that slavery was now illegal. So 2 years from now, they were finally aware of it, and so that's the official end of slavery, which is why we celebrate on Juneteenth. So the question is, here's why Juneteenth's not really a question, it's a demand. Here's why Juneteenth should be a federal holiday and Columbus Day should not, or Indigenous Peoples Day, but really we changed the name because we want to be, oh, we're with the Indigenous people, but are we really? We don't give a shit about the missing and murdered Indigenous women. Do we? We still take their land for whatever, and we've mistreated them forever. So even if we change it to Indigenous Peoples Day, we're not celebrating the Indigenous peoples. We're still just being like Columbus founded America. So here's why Juneteenth is so much more important than Columbus Day. First of all, whatever we're celebrating Juneteenth for, the whole slave thing, actually happened. That's a true fact, and we know it happened because it's recorded on it happening. It's been celebrated by multiple states, especially it's an official holiday in Texas for a good amount of time now. And I think this is like the 155th anniversary of slavery ending. Meanwhile, Columbus Day, a lot of what we know about Columbus is fake, and it was written that way by an Italian biographer who is an author who wanted to give Italians a purpose to live, because guess what? America, we discriminate against all minorities, including Italians, Jews, and the Irish, because we suck. And for a long time, people hated the Italians, and they hated the Irish, they hated the Jews. And so the Italians were like, if we give them a reason for us not to be hated, they won't kill us or deport us. Because we did both those things. The 30s was a crazy time. Anyway, so he wrote about how great Columbus was and how he founded America, and basically how America exists because Columbus discovered North America, which is false. He did not discover North America. He discovered basically everything except for North America. I think he landed in the Bahamas, Cuba, Puerto Rico, Brazil, or whatever. Everything except for North America. And he didn't even do that much good, because he basically led to the slaughter of millions of Indigenous people, both through disease and through actual killing, because they were like, these people don't speak English, and these people did not react to me the way that I thought they would react to me, so we're going to kill all of them. Also, low-key for the reason for the slave trade, but that's a different story for a different day. So, yeah. Also, he didn't really know what he was doing. It wasn't because he thought the world was flat, it's because he thought that the world was like a pear shape. So he thought that if he went a certain way, it would be a shorter distance than going around the long way, Because by then they'd known that the world was round. That's a misconception, is that people thought the world was flat. No, people believe the world was round. People who believe the world is flat is a modern thing. That's weird. It's stupid. People are stupid. And whatever, and it was sad. People just he even died believing he'd found India. He wasn't even looking for the next, he just thought he was in India the whole time. But Italians were like, this guy did something important, even though he didn't do anything important, he did something stupid. So, yeah, first of all, Juneteenth is based off of fact, whereas Columbus Day is not. Third of all, the reason that we tried to change it to Indigenous Peoples Day is that Columbus Day, the fact we celebrate the person who added to the killing of so many innocent people, is insensitive to thousands of people. It's untrue, and it's harmful that we celebrate so many bad people. Whereas Juneteenth is an actual event. It's not just one person. It's an event that we can all agree is really good, unless you're a Confederate douchebag. Sorry, dude, you lost the war. Just accept it. The war's been lost for years now. That's the thing. We shouldn't celebrate or name things after people, because people aren't wholly good. And people are learning that now. Taking down statues, because it's all these people, these historical figures that we celebrate, because they did good things. They did like the equal amount, even more bad things that we just look over, like Winston Churchill. There's a whole issue going on because they've labeled him as racist, and the Prime Minister of England's like, well, he's not racist. So it's like he literally believed in eugenics, and he held the first eugenics conference in England, in like 1920. If you don't know what eugenics is, it's basically the Holocaust. It's the belief that one race is superior to all others, and that those other races should either be assimilated, sterilized, or killed. So basically genocide. He supported genocide, not of Jews, but of very specific things. Same thing with America. We practiced eugenics in the 1330s. Same with Denmark, Japan, a lot of countries. Not just Germany. But we like to demonize Germany because, they were pretty public about it. But not public enough people to raise suspicion until, World War II. Anyway, so yeah, same thing with George Washington, also owned slaves, also hated the natives. People are just bad people, and people that do good. Bad people can do good things, and good people can do bad things, but if the bad things they do cause more harm than the good that they do, then should we really be celebrating them? I mean, like, FDR ended the Great Depression, but did he end all recession ever? Did he make the economy the absolute greatest? No, it never fully recovered from before the Great Depression. And obviously we're in a huge economic decline right now. And also he started redlining, which has way more permanent effect than any of his Social Security or whatever. Destabilizing a civilization, destabilizing a people, and literally forcing them to be lesser than you has a more permanent impact than any freaking policy you made that will semi-permanently boost the economy. That's just facts. Whereas an actual good event should be celebrated. It's like celebrating somebody's birthday versus celebrating what that person is. It's like celebrating Gandhi versus celebrating India's independence. The fact that India is independent is really good. Gandhi himself was not a good person. So these are more reasons why Juneteenth should be a federal. Because also, it's a major thing for a lot of people. Really, it's probably one of the only good things this country has actually done. One of the undisputed good things this country has done. And we're just not celebrating. And then you have Trump, who was like, I raised awareness for this holiday. Nobody knew about it before me. You didn't know about it until people complained about it. Bitch. I'm sorry, this started out with a point. Now I'm just ranting. It's so freaking stupid. It's so stupid. So yeah, that's my piece. Juneteenth should be a federal holiday and not Columbus Day or Indigenous Peoples Day. If we're going to have an Indigenous Peoples Day, let's actually celebrate and educate people on Indigenous culture. Let's not call them Indians. Let's end the racism and stereotypes. Let's put forth an effort to learn about their culture and about the sacrifices they have made, and not just be, the Navajo code talkers in World War II. That's not the only thing they did. They helped us win the American Revolution, and then we turned on them and took their land that Britain had already agreed to be theirs. It was put under protection from Canada. Let's talk about all that's happened. Let's talk about Native assimilation camps and schools. If we're truly going to have an Indigenous Peoples Day, it should be about the Indigenous people, not just us being like, oh, I'm so sorry that white people came and took your land, but at the same time, we're not going to give anything back to you because I don't care that much. I feel like we use Indigenous Peoples Day as a way to be, oh, I'm not racist because I'm recognizing these people. I'm sorry for all we've done to you. But that doesn't make you not racist. The fact that you are refusing to change the system that is leaving these people in poverty, you're refusing to get these people help, and just being like, oh, well, they're just drunk, they just gamble, they just smoke, they just do whatever, they're unstable, because you made them that way. You gave them that generational trauma, and giving them one freaking holiday, it's not even theirs. It's just basically a half-assed apology being like, hey, we changed this racist holiday to be about you, but you didn't. You made it about yourselves. It was never about the natives, and That is why it shouldn't be a holiday. We either give the natives a proper holiday and proper recognition of their culture, take an effort to learn their languages, have them taught in schools, or we just shouldn't celebrate it at all. Because it's not even a celebration. It's just an excuse to get off of school and get out of work. Whereas Juneteenth would be an actual celebration of something good happening. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Have a wonderful day. Happy Juneteenth. Keep fighting for freedom. Black Lives Matter. All minority lives matter. And before you say that you're not racist, check and see how you have benefited from this system and how you have done nothing to try and change the system. Think about that. So long, thanks for all the fish. And be excellent to each other and riot on, dudes.